200 years ago, the only cities with 1 million inhabitants were London, Beijing, and Tokyo. Today, there are 442. By 2030, most of humanity will be living in megacities. So how can we maintain mobility when 10 million other people are trying to get around the same place at the same time? How can we manage such explosive infrastructural growth? The Audi Urban Future Award brought 5 of the world's foremost architectural firms together in the search for unusual infrastructural solutions. Each of them was inspired by the metropolis they call home. October 18, 2012, Istanbul. The architects present their visions in an exhibit at the first Istanbul Design Biennial. The interdisciplinary jury deems the concept by the Bostonian architects Howler and Yoon to be the most innovative.
It's been an incredible process. We worked extremely hard. There were a lot of people involved. It was a kind of all-out effort. We survived and had a good outcome in the end. But we're just so tired and so relieved and so happy.
So what shape could mobility take in the winners region? The metropolitan area spanning from Boston to Washington, D.C. is home to 45 million people. They're developing the desire to share transportation resources instead of owning them. A new idea for the U.S., whose infrastructure is anything but.
The infrastructure here is quite old. The I-95 was one of the first major infrastructural projects in the United States. And I think that's very different from the other regions in that we're rethinking how one will design the infrastructure in the future. And it's different because our infrastructure is about to fail.
With that in mind, they developed a platform that seamlessly combines individual and public modes of transportation, melding the existing infrastructure of Highway I-95 with new intelligent networking software. They call it the Shareway. It caught the jury's attention.
The idea is that when you have an area which is so congested and so populous, we have to find new ways of sharing space as well as sharing vehicles. And their kind of concept, which I think will adapt to different situations, is that you use the same amount of space and different types of vehicle traveling in it. And that is something which is not totally unique, but it's a very kind of clear way to answer that problem.
Join us for a trip around the world, from one innovation to the next. CRIT in Mumbai developed tools that individual inhabitants can utilize to shape their own environments, focusing less on mobility than on social and structural permeability. Node architecture from the Pearl River Delta in China proposes moving the transportation of goods to an underground network, freeing the streets for communal use. Urban think tank from Sao Paulo imagines utilizing not only the streets, but also horizontal and digital space, as well as space within the buildings themselves. They envision a surplus of mobility. Superpool, based in Istanbul, proposes harnessing the power of social media to allow citizens to democratically shape the space around them and define how it is used on a daily basis. Revolutionary ideas are invaluable, but they're only the beginning. What is Audi's role in turning theory into reality?
Wir möchten gerne mit dem Gewinner ein City-Dossier entwickeln, das heißt eine Art Blaupause für die Themenstellungen, die eigentlich alle 5 Adressaten heute auch auf den Tisch gelegt haben. Ich glaube, das sind sehr, sehr interessante Inputs, die wir heute mitgenommen haben. Und wir möchten schon ein Kompendium zusammenstellen, wo man sagt, das wäre vielleicht so eine Marschrichtung, wo man Mobilitätsthemen aktiv zukunftsgesteuert angehen kann.
The Audi Urban Future Initiative will continue to generate new ideas for mobility in the cities of the future. Check back under www.audiurbanfutureaward.com to stay updated.